Hey, nice people. What's up, man? There's some weird adjectives he chose. But I guess thanks for saying it, bro. Oh yeah. My credentials are just unimpeachable. Um, yeah, man. Well, actually, I don't know if there's any other introductory stuff you wanted to get into, but we were chatting offline, and then decided to conserve it for online about our opinions on the dark call rule, and kind of how we feel about it and its role in the community and so forth. Is there anything else you wanted to do before we dive into that? Oh yeah, I guess that's important. Don't just make it all about us. Yeah. Blah. It's a shame there's no team names involving the word blah. I'm just thinking about that now. Oh shoot. Blah. It's a shame there's no team names
Oh, I hope it's not
involving
that
the
my
word blah. Let me see if I can get some headphones. Maybe it's that.
Okay, there we go. That ought to do it. How about now, Scott Sword? Can you hear me? Give it just a moment. Anyway, why don't you fill some of the
okay,
some of the
there
dead
we
air?
go.
That ought to do it.
Oh sure, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was the cause of these audio problems. I'm just gonna get some earbuds and
No,
see
no,
if.
it was me. In fact, I just remedied
Oh,
it.
oh, well, perfect. In that case,
There we
I will
go.
not wear headphones because it's annoying. Uh,
Okay, here's something interesting. Mina
oh,
Harker has
wow.
renewed vigor.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice, nice opening.
it's good to be Dracula and get to peep at somebody's hand every now and again.
Oh yeah, always a fun time. Um, well, hey Scott Sword, hey other audience members who have yet to be named. Hope you'll enjoy my my delirious commentary. I'm pretty jet lagged. Just flew in from Dublin of all places, actually.
You
Number
mean
18,
in
and I'm
in
pretty.
Vampire Land?
Oh yeah, I had to go stake a few, just take care of some things
Mm.
before I.
They think it's Transylvania, but it's actually right there. That
Yeah,
that
yeah.
in Greece.
Transylvania is so 19th century. All the cool vampires are in the British Isles now, so I had to just go polish a few of them off.
Just
But anyways, yeah. So what we were saying about the dark call rule. So I'm probably in the minority here. But I am a huge fan of the rule. I think that we should make it part of our like everyday play. Probably not in like the League of Dracula, the more like competitive tournament. But I think in terms of like casual everyday games, I think it should be a bigger part of it. And I like nobody else seems to really agree with me, but I love the rule. I think that number one, Dark Call is kind of like the garlic wreath of Dracula powers. There's not never, there's rarely any reason to use it. It's usually to his detriment because like it's just not the downsides outweigh whatever little bit of good it might do. And really, the only reason to ever use it is when you're desperate to stay at a certain location for whatever reason, and that's the only card that you can use because the others are not available. Number two, so for that reason, it should do something good. Number two, Dracula never gets events because of the meta of how we play with not supplying at night, and Dracula events are fun, and they make things more fun especially for Dracula, but in general, I think they make things more fun. So for that reason, I think it should be um, part of the community more. And then three, of course, this is less serious, but it does make things more unpredictable, wacky, and I love wackiness. So that's my reasoning here. Now, not a lot of people seem to agree with me, but maybe after this tournament, we'll see a change. What do you think, Jaira?
well, as I was sort of getting at before we were chatting, I'm a little bit in two minds on it, because it's one of those things where it seems so crazy and wacky, and it's gonna add so much randomness to the game. But maybe that's for the best. Maybe that'd actually be way better.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, I think the game.
you got to remember, it isn't the same as like Dracula getting a hoax, right? Because when Dracula gets a hoax, he gets to look at a whole bunch of cards typically, and then pick the one he likes the most. But with Dark Call, it's just like this random draw. It could be anything, and there's really, how many Dracula cards are really that scary? Maybe 4 of them in the whole deck. What do you think about that?
I think, well, I do think that some of the Dracula cards are maybe a little bit underrated.
For sure.
In terms of how we think about them. Like a card like Wild Horses, everybody's like, oh yeah, Wild Horses, whatever. That's like a pretty solid card. If you can use it at the critical moment. Ooh, Wolf Form. If you can use it as at the critical moment, that can be a pretty powerful effect, man. Just like the ability to shut down a hunter's movement, that can disrupt a renewed vigor play in the same way that something like a Saboteur or a Bats in the right location could. Honestly, I think the only Dracula event that I find to be total trash is, and not even trash, that I find to just be like not that good, is Roadblock. But even Roadblock in the right cases, in the right situations, can be quite a good card. And then if we go through all the other ones, I mean, maybe it's time for a new video on Dracula events tier list. But I think most of the other ones have their uses, like Sensationalist Press. That's a big deal. Being able to cancel a scouts like at a critical moment in the game. Being able to cancel scouts that might reveal your location. That's huge. What else is there? Obviously, Enraged, Seduction, amazing cards. I love those both. You've got your what's the one that messes up Chartered Carriage?
False Tip.
False Tip. That's like okay, but again, that's probably down there with Roadblock. But it's like, in the right case, it can definitely be pretty powerful.
You're talking about shutting down a hunter's movement and saying it's a really desirable effect, but then in the same breath you say Roadblock's bad.
Well, Roadblock is not bad. It's just the one that I'm least excited about drawing as Dracula. That and Great Wolf. Are two that I'm the least excited about drawing.
Maybe I should walk back my statement. Yes, Dracula cards can be powerful and good, but like, does Dracula need that? Maybe. The game is certainly more dynamic and interesting when Dracula is able to interact and involve himself a little bit more in the game. I can't necessarily speak to the balance. Maybe we'll get some data from the tournament, hopefully, but I mean, it's a lot more interactive.
Yeah, it makes things more interesting for sure. And honestly, in terms of balance, I can't see it swinging things that much towards Dracula because the cost of playing Dark Call is still so high. You lose 2 health, you don't move, which again, in some cases can be good, but is usually bad.
You're not putting down the encounter.
Exactly. There's an entire space in the trail that doesn't have an encounter, and that's bad. So the cost that you're paying for it is pretty high. Even if you do play it and get a good event, you're gonna be happy if you draw Unearthly Swiftness or if you draw Darkness Returns. But a lot of the time, you're gonna be paying this like notable cost for it, and maybe you don't get maybe you don't get the top tier card. Maybe you could just get like a Sensationalist Press or something, which can be great in the right circumstance, but maybe others just don't draw scouts for the rest of the game.
Yeah, maybe you cancel their hired scouts and then they flip over newspaper reports anyway.
Right. And I'm not even thinking about hired scouts in the beginning of the game. I'm thinking about like in those late game critical moments where it's like, okay, Dracula's got to move 3 more times. Our hunters are out of position. We've got to find him. We don't know where he is, and then you draw scouts. And you can search like 2 out of the 6 locations that he might be in, and then that's huge. And if Dracula can cancel that, that's massive. So that's when a card like Sensationalist Press can really, really make a huge difference. But I don't think it's my instinct is to say it's not going to swing the balance towards Dracula that much. Because for every game that he draws Darkness Returns or Unearthly Swiftness with it, there's going to be 10, 20 games where he just draws some other, lesser card that doesn't swing the game in that same way.
And you can still catch him off guard even if he is holding a good card, right?
Oh yeah.
You could still play Renewed Vigor and Speedy Telegraph, catch him out with a Forewarned, and look at that, he's dead and he's holding on to a really powerful card, you know, seduction, unearthly swiftness, something like that, but
Yeah.
you caught him off guard with the element of surprise.
Yeah. So anyway, those are my 3 cases for it. Is like, A, Dark Call sucks and needs a reason to exist. B, Dracula events need a reason to actually be used more. And C, wacky is fun. But yeah, I do hope that we'll see sort of a shift in the community opinion, because I'm always like, I would love to play with this rule on the majority of the time, probably. Again, maybe not in the league, maybe not in games around the time during and leading up to the league when people are trying to practice more. But for like more fun games, I think this rule should be part of it. And honestly, I think that I always come back to this, like, if there were to be a 5th edition, what changes would we make? One of the big changes I would make is that it's the 2 things I said, that Dracula events should have more opportunity to be drawn, and Dark Call should have a reason to exist. So that's kind of my soapbox there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be darned if I'm not being somewhat persuaded.
Yeah.
I think the current perception is that, like, you can't just do that. It would just make getting Dracula cards too easy and add so much randomness to the game. But it's like, I think maybe that's just a matter of perspective.
Yeah, I mean, this
so
is
what?
a game.
Maybe that's fine.
Yeah. This is a game with a lot of randomness in it by design already.
Yeah,
so
there's a deck of cards. There's another deck of cards.
Hey,
there's
there it is.
A third deck of cards.
Oh, you know what? Vampiric Influence. That's another one of the lower tier cards.
Yeah, but he's gonna get rid of Renewed
this
Vigor.
game's massive. He's either throwing out Renewed Vigor. Yeah, he's throwing out Renewed Vigor. So that's like insane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an amazing use of Dark Call. But for every scenario where you get to delete a Renewed Vigor with Dark Call, there's going to be 30.
And you know what? That's Pizzawizard's fault.
Oh, for leaving it on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I don't blame him necessarily, because we don't usually play with this rule. But now that this has happened to him, you can actually come to see that this could have been a foreseeable circumstance.
That's true, but think about that. Like, there's an opportunity cost to getting rid of that, though, because, like, let's say, okay, Mina has Renewed Vigor, great. Van Helsing trades with her. Now Van Helsing has Renewed Vigor. Now Van Helsing's got to trade with at least one other person to at least create the impression that he has given Renewed Vigor to that third party. And now it's like, okay, so maybe he did give it to Godalming, maybe he didn't. But then you can still play Vampiric Influence on him, and you got a 50-50 shot of still deleting Renewed Vigor. So, it's kind of like...
No, you can... Vampiric Influence only works on the weekend.
Oh, wow. See, I told you I was going to be here with jet lag.
I knew you were coming down with some nonsense there. No.
Yeah, man.
The don't talk about opportunity costs when Renewed Vigor has just been taken. Any measure to prevent that would have been well worth.
No, and you're absolutely right. Yeah, all he had to do was grab that off of her.
But he didn't foresee this happening, and I didn't either. To be clear, who the hell would have thought of this happening?
Yeah,
but now that it has happened,
even with a card getting drawn, that would happen. So that's like,
you can see that it was actually clear that this could have happened.
Yeah, but I do love the just as I was saying, it probably won't change the balance that much. That, like, epic thing happens. And actually, not only that, but just as I was saying, Vampiric Influence, that's like kind of like a lesser card in my Dracula event card, in my opinion. Boom, deletes Renewed Vigor. So shows what I know.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. And I don't want to sound hard on Pizzawizard. I don't think anybody could have seen that coming.
Yeah, well,
it's just that's how much I respect him, I thought maybe he'd realized that was a possibility now that Dracula can just snag a card off the top of the deck.
Yeah, but even if he thought about it, like, the odds of it happening are so low.
Extremely. Right.
That, like, does he really want to spend Van Helsing's night action doing that when he's trying to get tickets, he's trying to get, maybe trade some other things, so, yeah. This has also been a rough start for Pizzawizard. He hasn't drawn any newspapers or anything to reveal the trail. He's drawn several scouts and an ally and searched a bunch of locations, and none of them have come up. And now something's going to mature. And he lost Renewed Vigor. So this is, like, really not going his way so far.
Yeah, good point from Scott Sword in the chat that, like, it's a sort of esoteric situation that normally nobody would have to think about happening. Now the rules are, like, totally different. You have to stop and think ahead. something like this could happen.
That's very yeah. That's what's fun about this tournament is that
We're
there's all these
like
scenarios
new players
here.
again.
Oh hey, well that's a nice little comfort for Pizzawizard. He gets to lead a fog.
That's something.
But yeah, I think just the fact that yeah, all of Pizzawizard obviously excellent player, top tier player, and all of his instincts and training are based on a set of rules that are different now. So yeah, it's totally understandable he wouldn't see that coming. Hey, even if he did see it coming, he might be like, what are the odds? It's a 1 in 25 chance, even if he does play Dark Call. So it's a very remote possibility. So like, even if he did think of it, it's not, it's not like a bad move to not trade that. But I think it's very likely, yeah, like you said, that he just didn't because he's used to playing in a setting where that couldn't happen.
Dracula now has 8 encounter cards. So unless we see like a desecrated soil or he decides to lair some things, he's not going to be drawing many cards for a bit.
That's true. We saw his hand, which I did not take note of what was all in there. I saw a hoax. I saw an aristocratic. I didn't catch what else was all in there.
We've had 2 hired scouts that went off and failed to find Dracula, and that's it. And we haven't seen any newspapers. Also.
Rufus searched, I want to say Geneva. But yeah, no newspapers. It's rough. It's a tough spot to be in.
Battle right now.
Especially because this might well be a hoax. We'll see.
Right, and then Dracula's gonna get even more event power. Yep, it's the hoax.
That sucks, man. Pizzawizard is really getting roughed up by the deck here.
Yeah, this is Dracula's dream right now.
Seriously, not only are you maturing a hoax and then probably a vampire, but also you're, you got rid of a renewed vigor. Oh, that's so nasty.
And he'll even, I mean, if this next one's a vampire, it's unfortunate it's not rumored, right? But if it is, it'll clear the wolf form and it'll clear the dark call. I never thought I'd hear myself saying it, but that could actually be a desirable thing for Dracula.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah, clear off my dark call early so I can draw through even more of this encounter deck, get more event cards, right?
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I don't know how many times he's gonna play it because like, what just happened there is like almost the optimal outcome of playing Dark Call. You can't expect it to be that good every time, but yeah. Maybe not that he's gotten such a good outcome from it. Maybe he's gonna be tempted to play it even more this game. He's really thinking about this hoax. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 cards for him to pick from. One of which is Vampiric Influence. And he's not going to take that again. But yeah, he's thinking. This is a thinker, which is weird. Like that makes me think there's not a Swiftness or a Darkness Returns in there, because otherwise the choice isn't hard.
Kazik says, Vampiric Influence maybe not the worst call in the world, depending on what else is being shown to him. Because you could take Mina's horse at this point. Yeah.
I mean, I would. Yeah, that's true. I mean, what else could be there that's worse than taking Mina's horse? I would say like a roadblock. I would rather have the horse, or rather delete the horse. That is. If it's like a false tip, I would definitely delete the horse.
Dracula's Bride.
Oh, the brides. I like that one. That's a fun card.
He's a thirsty boy.
And not only that, he's doing the ally.
Yeah, good for him.
Interesting. Have they discarded any good lucks yet? No. So those allies may not be around for that long, but while they are,
well, it's going to improve his encounter economy.
Yeah.
Which is what he wants.
Yeah,
right now,
I don't think I've ever seen that thing played like that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, he does want to cycle through his hand, which makes total sense.
Get that other fog. Get the one that's discarded back in the deck as well.
But that is an interesting... So that tells me for sure that he didn't have the choice of like Darkness Returns. Probably not even Devilish Power. I'm curious what else was in that hand. I guess he's recording, so we can go back later and see what he had to choose from.
Yeah. Good time.
But that's an interesting choice.
Discarding the holy bullets. Pizzawizard, what's wrong?
2 stakes down. So
I mean, as hunters, I think you kind of hope this is a vampire. Give Dracula his 4 points.
Mm-hmm. You find out roughly his location,
yeah.
big. And then you don't have so many more encounters to deal with. Now, I guess the worst case is if it's a bodyguard, and then it's a vampire, or something like that. Mm-hmm. But there's not that many more things that can mature that can be that bad. Like, it could be a desecrated soil. That'd be really nice for Dracula. It could be a bodyguard's. It can't be a hoax because we saw that in his hand when Behind the Veil went off.
So oil wouldn't really surprise me, especially if you in this season where it's like you're gonna dark call in the first week, so you put down an early soil and then you wolf form too, right? And now you're gonna get the 3 healing for the 3 damage, get the maximum value out of it.
Yeah,
I've noticed a few starts like that this season. I've watched a few games and there's an early soil, there's a wolf form, there's a dark call. Not necessarily all in that order, but
yeah, I do like the idea of this being a soil, because then if you're planning on playing dark call when you can, then there's a good chance that the hunters will find the soil, but they'll search it, and that will allow you to cycle your hand. So that mitigated some of the effect of or not mitigated.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, I mean, you've gotten like more out of the dark call by like being able to cycle some of that crap out.
I think Mystic Research. Okay, that makes sense. Even if you're I think rumoring soil isn't even the worst move in the world. If you're going to use that early week 1 rumor, you could put it down on the soil, and then the hunter's going to show up there with a stake, right? And then they're going to stake the soil, and then at that point, there's basically like a 50% chance they have the host and a 50% chance they don't. I mean, that's just street math. That's not real data. Don't quote me on that. But like they might have the soil, or they might have the host, they might not have the host. That's typically what happens in the first week. So they go over there and they reveal their stake. They reveal that they don't have a heavenly host, or maybe that they do, right? And then maybe they've already revealed their horses or something like that.
Hey, quick question. Right? What just happened? He didn't mature an encounter. No, he also didn't layer it. He also didn't layer a location.
Maybe it was like a bats or something, and he wants it to not be a lair. He would rather the encounter card get put in the discard pile so he can have another crack at it.
It's a ways from the pile emptying out, so I don't know that he would have needed that. Like at that point, if it's a bats, I would rather have it be a lair with a bats and something else on it to really fuck up a hunter who.
Right, but it depends on where that lair is and whether you're going to be going back there or not.
Oh, nice insight by Pizzawizard there. He went straight to Genoa, and that's exactly where the location was.
It's he did reveal a newspaper reports. Okay.
Yeah. So that revealed Milan, and then he just guessed Genoa. Which, not a bad guess.
He wolfed from Genoa to Milan. What's going on here?
That's just some tricky little fake wolf form action. All right, Mina's on the move too.
Well, I don't know that he necessarily deduced Genoa so much as he saw Milan. He took the train to Genoa because that's where the train goes. And
that's
then he
true.
Was like, now I can clear up Milan tomorrow.
Yeah, very true.
But now that this wolf form is so slow wolf form, fake wolf form.
Yeah. Slow wolf. So after Milan, let's see. He just before the trail gets cleared. Or no, the trail won't get cleared, I guess, but. He could have gone to Venice, Munich, or Zurich. I think he probably did not go to Venice, although maybe so. But yeah, Munich and Zurich are the top tier to get. Ooh, okay, there's the bats.
Maybe I was wrong about the bats.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because like, imagine if that bats had been a lair with 2 encounters. He could have dropped Godalming to like a double damaging encounter if he had wanted to. I don't know why he didn't lair that.
Yeah, even if it was aristocratic, you would probably layer it. You keep the aristocratic out of the deck.
Yeah.
Okay, we got wolves. He wolf formed. No, I'm sorry. He wolf formed to Genoa. He didn't wolf form from Genoa to Milan. That's my bad. He was probably in like Rome or something, and he wolf formed to Genoa.
Yeah. He definitely went to Bari, Rome, Genoa. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he wolf formed over Florence, I guess. Didn't want to Maybe didn't want to risk
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's starting to make sense because like he put down the hoax first, right? Where do you put down your hoax? In Bari, and
Yep.
then it was revealed that he had fog in hand. Now, whether he started with the fog or if he drew it off of the dark hall, I can't say, but it's possible he was going for that little Scott sword start where you put the hoax down in Bari and then you move to Rome and you put down the fog to protect the hoax. Then he wolf forms to Genoa to get out of Italy as quickly as he can. Before Pizzawizard catches wise to what's going on. Then he goes to Milan and he dark calls. And then he moved 3 spaces, so I'm guessing he's in like... I think he probably went straight for Zurich and then from Zurich to Strasbourg. Because at this point, if you're Dracula, you're thinking, I need to lose the hunters, not go straight for Munich and make my way east. Like they'll catch me, they'll find me.
Although I would feel like Strasbourg and Munich are kind of the first locations to get checked. I mean, after Zurich.
Yeah, but
So it's gonna be sneaky.
the
I don't
thing
know if
about
that's...
the thing about checking Strasbourg is now you have to check what's after Strasbourg.
Well,
That's
that's
what
true.
gives Dracula the advantage there. Is
That's true.
I can go to
That's true.
Strasbourg, and then after that, they're going to have to figure out where the heck I went from there. And it could be Frankfurt. He could go to Nuremberg. He might like be really tricky and go for Paris, so he could sneak away to Nantes. It gives him options, and that means there's options for the hunters to take, and that means there's wrong choices too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's wolf formed again, so wherever he went, they do have a little bit of detective work to do here.
Yeah.
But they at least know where to begin.
Thinking it's Zurich, Strasbourg.
Is that an item trade that's going to happen there? Why is Seward going to Florence? That must be an item trade.
From Strasbourg, he went to Nuremberg, and then in Nuremberg, he wolf formed.
Oh, okay, so Zurich, yeah. So again, you do check Strasbourg, I think. At this point,
that's 1 point in favor of my theory.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, so I think now you check Strasbourg next.
Oh, JB Philly.
Yo.
Well, Kazik is telling us that it was the hide card.
Of course.
Yeah, we're such dummies.
He
so
started in Rome.
Together.
Right, he started in Rome and hid. Right.
That explains why he didn't layer it and he didn't mature it.
That explains everything.
You can't do that with the hide card.
We are some silly geese, my friend.
Thank you for pointing that out to us, Ukazik.
Unlike this wise duck who's shed his light upon our lack of understanding.
Fortunately, if we were playing the hunters, it wouldn't really affect the situation too much.
Yeah.
There's
the
little
soil.
bearing on where Dracula is.
Now, I think it's unlikely that Mina's got the host, so that's going to be a nice outcome for Dracula because he gets those cards, and now he's going to get more cards if they ever want to. So that's a real nice outcome. Things are really going Dracula's way so far.
He's getting all the.
That said, if there's a player who gets up from a situation like this, it's Pizzawizard.
I mean, the only good thing is that Dracula's damaged himself somewhat significantly with all his shenanigans.
True.
But
yeah, the cost they're going to have to pay of giving him 6 cards and using an extra hunter action to prevent him healing is definitely not to be sneezed at.
It's interesting how he's using the encounter deck to boost his the event deck to boost his encounter economy. That's he's got like a focus strategy based off of the cards he's been able to work into the game. So
yeah, and I mean he's really gambling on them not drawing good luck, which like sooner or later they're going to. So this ally thing's not going to last forever. But at this point in the game, they're not supplying much because they have to be moving. So it'll probably be a little while before they get to discard that ally. And so really he was just gambling on do they have it in their hand already? Which, they very likely could, but in this case it seems like they didn't. So
I mean, if it happens, it happens. I think it's first of all one of those risk-reward things where the potential reward is very good for Dracula, so it's maybe just worth going for it anyway. But also, come on, you got to style on the guy just a little bit. Be like, hey, check it out, I get the ladies.
Oh, for sure. It's just that if you did that, and then they immediately stunted on you by like, oh, I got good luck.
Oh yeah, they give your ladies the pimp slap. Get them out of here.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, for the reason alone that it could have easily just been blown up by a good luck, I don't know if I agree with picking Dracula's Brides in this way, but I don't know what else he had to choose from, so I can't really judge.
I think my theory's starting to shape up here.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Ooh,
never mind.
hide.
Just as I say that. What was he doing? Why was he hiding there?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, maybe he was hoping for a fight. Like, he thought that they were going to be tied up finding the trail, and maybe one person would walk onto him and he'd fight them.
Get a little escape is bad action.
Yeah. Oh, man, now check this out. Now Mina's going to trigger the Desecrated Soil again. This is rough.
You think? Maybe he's got a vampire she's going to... No, yeah, he wolf formed from Geneva, so he'd be further away. Yeah, might as well move her onto the soil.
Yeah. No, and the 9 cards he's going to get out of that, that is intense.
Well, that Behind the Veil is now totally irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, he still might not get the second fog back, but I'd call it very unlikely. He's almost certainly going to have 2 fogs this game.
And certainly any information you might have gained from the Behind the Veil other than the fog situation is like now totally moot. He's just zooming through that encounter deck. It's fun to watch. Well, I was wrong. He went for Geneva and then he wolf formed.
Yeah, so he could be in Toulouse, he could be in Bordeaux, or he could have gone to Toulouse, Bordeaux, he could have gone to Nuremberg. Could be in northern France.
Now we'll all remember that one time I was wrong.
Frankfurt. Oh, of course, he'll never live it down.
But I mean, it was just that one time.
So yeah, I don't know. Do you think they're going to send one of the boys in to get rid of the soil, or they're just going to let him have the 3 health?
Oh, you got to kill that soil, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the argument against it is like we don't want to give him 3 more free card cycles, and if we can nail him, which at this point they got to start thinking about how they're going to nail Dracula, not just his trail. If they can nail him and get a couple hunters on him, then yeah, 3 health matters, but like it's surmountable, and you might value your time more than the difficulty of killing him once you found him.
Well, if he's in Geneva and he wolf forms, the furthest he could be if he's going into the east is 58, right? He could have wolf formed from Geneva to Nuremberg and then gone 44, 58. And that's the east. That's not that big a deal. If Dracula's in 58 with no wolf form, that's kind of actually great.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can just nail him.
I mean, no matter where he is.
So if he didn't go into the east, then that means he went into the west. Or he went back down into Italy.
Yeah, I mean, he could be in Germany.
Germany's possible.
Wherever he is, he's not that far.
Yeah, that's my point. No matter where he is, he's actually...
And that is a good Harker.
The furthest away he could be is in Spain. And at that point, you know, that's not that bad a result either. So
yeah, so do you check Toulouse or Bordeaux here just to see if he's in Spain, or do you check Nuremberg to see if he's in the east with Harker?
Do you supply again? Let him get it one day further away? And again, he's pretty close. So what's one more day? Is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Especially if it means you
Toulouse not on the trail. That's good info.
Yeah, it could have still been like Bordeaux.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then Bordeaux into Santander.
Now, I wonder if Mina's going to scan. Not that I think there's a very low chance that he's in Italy at this point, but I do wonder if Mina might scan.
If by that you mean psychic bond.
That is what I mean.
It's possible. It's totally possible.
Actually, is it even? I don't think it's possible that he could be in Italy at this point, because he didn't wolf form to Genoa or Milan. He didn't wolf form to Munich because Godalming was just there, and there's no other way that he could be in Italy. I don't think.
Unless he went. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, no need to psychic. I mean, he might still do it just for the heck of it, but no need to psychic bond now.
But if you have hypnosis.
Now that would be big. Yeah, if he's got hypnosis, now's the time to play it because you got to find Dracula. And you might, honestly, if you can get a beat on him, you might choose to just ignore that rumor token. Because if that really is a vampire...
Okay, this is a big one.
That's big. That's big.
Jonathan Harker
plus
a hired scouts, you're practically shotgunning the board.
Yeah. I think you took 8 and 41, then you kind of rule out Spain and you rule out the East. Oh, okay, he went Bordeaux Nantes. Interesting.
Okay.
So he didn't go to Spain. All right. So that's, yeah, his location is narrowed down quite a lot now. Oh, just regular bond. Okay.
He's not in Italy. He didn't go into Spain or Western France.
So he's in either France, Germany, or Austria now.
I don't think he is in France. Unless he like... No. How would he be in France, but he didn't show up in 8 or 39?
Yeah, he'd have to be doing a real weird loop-de-loop.
With Van Helsing in Brussels, I don't think it's possible. Unless I missed something. No, I think this was definitely a wolf to Nuremberg. And then the only question after that is, did he go north into northern Germany towards the coast? Because his wolf form's down and he wants to be near a port to get away? Or did he try to make a break for the east and go 44-58?
Yeah.
That's
he could have also wolf formed to Frankfurt. Ooh, double rumor.
He could have, yeah. In which case, both options are still possible at this point. He could have gone into northern Germany or through the eastern corridor.
I wonder if you have Godalming check Vienna here.
I don't have a problem with that because he can then potentially take a train from 58 to Berlin.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's going for...
It was
Frankfurt. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
The old JB Philly knows a thing or two, huh?
Not too bad.
Now here is where I think you might just let that vampire mature.
Maybe, yeah. No, it was clever that he went to Frankfurt, because the first place I would have been checking was Nuremberg.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think in general you do check Nuremberg first just because that cuts off more of the board as a possibility, but I think his instinct that Fangs likes to go to Frankfurt is a good one.
That's 1 point.
That's 1 point. Yeah, so I mean, that's... I still kind of think maybe you just let this vampire mature, because if you just chase down Dracula here, then okay, you get 7 points, but like killing him's more important. That said, Godalming's got a stake, I'm pretty sure, so I don't think it would
also clear the rumor token.
Yeah.
Grr. That's a scary looking man. I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, well played, Pizzawizard. Yeah, they...
Actually, I don't know if Godalming does have a stake now, because he's got a host. He's got a horse. If he has a stake, that means he doesn't have a weapon, which I'm not sure. I think he might have given a stake to Seward. So now, yeah.
Oh, they're both rumored.
Yeah, there's 2 rumors.
Oh, you gotta kill him then. Don't give him 7 points.
Well, why does that? Because like now if he matures the one vampire, then the other rumor goes away, and since we know it's a reckless, there's no reason not to mature that one.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Let Dracula be at 8 points now, and then?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can catch him, and
if the alternative means killing him, then yeah. Like but how do you know you're gonna kill him? You're gonna play renewed vigor and rush everybody into Hamburg and just kill him like that? Like what if?
Yeah, well, it depends where he is. Obviously, it depends on what they find. Like with Mina here. Like, is she gonna check Leipzig? Is she gonna check Oh, she can't get to where Van Helsing is. She could go to Frankfurt and scan Germany with Godalming.
Yeah,
Obviously, just
I
giving another point away to
guess
the.
that's true. But you do that, and if it comes up yes, then Dracula's just gonna go to C.
Oh,
Probably on the
sure.
very
That's
next
the
turn.
key, too. 'Cause now if he's at C, now he's wasting time. Okay, she's checking Leipzig. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so he went to Strasbourg or he went to Nuremberg, basically. Or,
I think he
um,
went to Nuremberg in order to go towards the east.
yeah, I would tend to agree. That's the next thing you check.
It's possible he didn't, but the other option would be Strasbourg to Paris. And I forget how those hired scouts played out, but shouldn't they have picked him up in 39 or 8 after that?
Yeah, if he was in Paris when the scouts went off, then he could now be on the French coast.
Yeah.
Man, those brides are really. This is like, I think there's going to be very few games in all of Fury of Dracula history where Dracula's brides do get played, let alone do as much as they're doing here, because it's just so common for hunters to have a good luck sitting in one of their hands. The fact that these brides have still not been canceled is just, yeah.
So Pizzawizard's not having any good luck.
Nope, he absolutely is not. I mean, the way this game's been playing out.
I'm thinking 44-58.
Yeah, I mean, you have to check that. You have to rule that stuff out.
Which means now what? He's going to go to 59 or 11? Then what do? You're too far away, even with renewed vigor, which Pizzawizard probably does not have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying like they have to kill him this turn. I'm saying if they can just get onto his trail and find out that he was in 11 or 59, then okay, they let Frankfurt mature. Now most of the trail goes away, and they're close to him, and he's got no trail. That's my thinking. So I think he checks Vienna here, or no, Prague. Sorry, not Vienna.
I hear you. Yeah, maybe the thing to do is let it mature, but then that means, yeah, looks. That would mean you hopefully play Vampire Lair, and at that point you can't let anything else mature. Good gosh, this guy's being sneaky.
Wow, that's a lot of vampires.
So
I mean, assuming that
we were both right. He did go to Nuremberg, and then he went to Strasbourg.
Okay, well that changes things. Yeah, now they're close to him wherever he is.
Yeah, he's using the Central Europe maze.
He's almost certainly on the
just
coast.
Zigzag around.
Yeah, he's almost certainly on the coast at this point because he's going to be afraid of a renewed vigor attack.
Oh, I think.
So I bet
he went to Nuremberg already. So this has to be Paris, right? Or maybe Geneva.
Maybe Brussels. I mean, Van Helsing's been in Cologne for a little bit now. That would be a bold move, but
I don't think you would do something like that, though. I mean, you did your sneaky bit already. Now you gotta actually extricate yourself from the situation. Yeah. You can't just goof off forever.
I agree. It probably was Paris and then one of the coastal cities.
I mean,
okay, so he's not letting it mature. All right, that's fair. I mean, I'm not saying that like I don't agree with getting rid of the vampires, but you just got to be aware that like this is potentially 3 back-to-back vampires. That's a lot of time and resources used on killing them if you do choose to kill them.
He did such a cutesy little loop from 24 to 21, then to 41, then head backwards in the opposite direction to the city you were already adjacent to in Strasbourg, just by hitting up like Bermuda's Triangle. Is just
that could have really blown up his face too if the hunters had moved differently. Like that was a pretty reckless play, if you will.
But it did seem to create a little bit of confusion.
Yeah, I mean, Pizza was just kind of focusing on the trail at this point. He's just, I'm gonna clear the encounters. I'm gonna work out where Dracula is, but I'm gonna clear everything and be methodical about it. So,
or maybe let it clear itself.
Ooh, tough for Van Helsing.
Mesmerize, strength. So was it just trying to defend itself? Does he play another Mesmerize or strength?
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Not a good read, Pizza. Dang, he's gonna get beat up now.
Yeah. That's guaranteed another 2 damage, at least.
Now it's gonna play strength.
Yep.
There's sort of a very off chance that he might play Fangs instead.
He might, yeah. I mean, like, you might think, okay, well, he's gonna play Escape, so I can just play Fangs and get the thing and then play the Strength, but, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's the Fangs.
yeah, you went for it. Yep. That's when, like, as Van Helsing, I might think, maybe I should just play Knife here, because the exact chain of thought that I was just articulating. And obviously,
there's at least a chance that you'll catch him with the knife, whereas Escape is always going to be canceled. But then if you play into a strength, you feel like a real fool at that point. But that's the mind games of this combat.
Yep. What you want here is Van Helsing is like a garlic.
Yeah, no kidding. That would have been the perfect card to play. It would have beat both, yeah.
I don't know if there are any of those still.
Garlic is so great.
Oh, the deck is refreshed, so it's going to be best.
It's such a strong defensive card.
Yeah. I mean, it's if what you want to do is have your hunter not die, garlic is massive. Ooh, okay.
The power of God.
Yeah.
Face that. Well played.
Yeah. Costly fight, but, you know, if you're going to kill these vampires, it's going to cost you something. That's nice, because now they've still got other stakes available.
Gallon of blood.
Okay, Mina must have a stake, then. Wow, 3 Recklesses back-to-back.
Yikes.
Yeah, so Mina's potentially... I mean, what she's really hoping to not do here is give up another point to a Fangs in this combat, because that'll put Dracula at 4, and that's as if you matured a Reckless or an Aristocratic. It's like, without any... You know, without any effort.
He's really brute forcing this. You know, just put down a bunch of Recklesses. Get the hunters in a bunch of ambushes. Fang away as much as you can.
This is exactly what I was thinking, especially when I saw 2 rumors back to back. I was like, dude, just let the thing mature. Okay, nice knife.
Yeah, fang away as much as you can. I mean, once you see 3 Recklesses like that, you are kind of just like, well, by the time I deal with this, I'll probably have given up 7 or 8 points anyway from all the fanging and one of them maturing.
Damage too, and then like time and stakes and hosts and like, I don't know. Yeah, the more I think about it now, I don't know if I really think that I might disagree with this, the move to try and kill these vampires.
Then again, you don't know that they're Recklesses until you step on it, and at that point you're already in the fight.
Well, no.
And
what I'm saying is,
sometimes it's better to make a stand than to let the thing just fang away at you while you keep trying to escape. You know what I mean?
Oh well, what I was saying was that once they knew that Frankfurt was a vampire, which happened a while ago, and there's a rumor after it. I was like, I don't know, man, just let that thing go.
No, I get you. I get your point. I just mean that, like, situation like right now, right? You know, instead of sitting there telling yourself, well, this thing's going to get cleared off the board anyway when the other one matures, I may as well just spam escape. Well, sometimes you take more damage doing that because the vampire knows what you're trying to do. And then, you know, he fangs you and scores points, right?
No, but I'm saying you don't go after these. I'm saying you don't go after these at all. Like, you don't go into Frankfurt again. You don't go into Nuremberg.
Well, at this point, yes, but did she know it's a vampire before she went to Nuremberg? Yeah, I guess she did.
Well, no. Well, no, we didn't know that it was for sure a vampire.
All I'm getting at is that sometimes you fight back against it, even though killing it might not be relevant.
No, I'm not talking about...
Once you've found yourself in the ambush. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying we knew a while ago that Frankfurt was a vampire. And once that was the case, and then there's another rumor after it, and then especially once two things after it was a vampire, that's when I'm like, nah, just let Frankfurt...
I'm making a separate point.
Like, half the trail, yeah. Yeah, I mean, once you've decided that you're going to deal with them, then yeah, then it's tough. That's the mind games of combat. But I'm really thinking that I think Pizzawizard made a mistake by deciding to clear these vampires. I think he should have just let them go. Because then if Dracula would be at 8 points, okay, but he's at 4 now. Maybe more to come before they kill the. Well, no, I guess the Nuremberg vampire is not going to score more points, but still, it's a difference of 4 points, a difference of 1 day worth of movement. But the hunters just spent several actions and lost items they're going to have to refill to kill these things. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but I think if Pizzawizard loses this, it's going to be because he chose to chase these vampires instead of chasing Dracula.
True, but now Dracula has 4 points instead of 7.
Yeah. So it is 1 day. It's 1 extra day that he's got, or that they've got on him rather. And he can't wolf form yet. He can hide. I think there's a very good chance now that he's on some coastal city hiding with a fog.
He'll probably want to feed too before he leaves.
Yeah, if he can. Now the other thing is maybe he doesn't even play the fog yet because maybe he's like, well, the hunters are out of position. I'm in Le Havre. I'm in Nantes. Grauman's all the way over in Munich. The others are undersupplied because they've just spent a bunch of their turns, putting stakes into vampires, and Van Helsing's damaged. So maybe he's not that afraid of an attack this turn, and maybe he doesn't play the fog just yet.
He could be ready to. He could be slinking into 47 right now.
Yeah, possible.
I sort of suspect that he is.
Yeah.
My guessing record hasn't been good today, though.
That's tough. A slow horse. You go to Zurich, which gets him closer.
You can actually check it.
And yeah, Seward needs to be supplying. I think he maybe checks like Bordeaux or something, and then he can supply there.
Go to Nantes.
As well as getting information. Oh, Marseille. Oh no, Clermont. Ooh. Oh wow. Okay, so Dracula did not beeline for the coast.
It was either Paris or it was Geneva and then Clermont-Ferrand. So now that puts him. He could be an 8 right now. Or Toulouse. Either one's a pretty good bet.
Okay, Van Helsing's on the move. Yep, going to Paris. All right, because he's not afraid of. One encounter can't kill him there, even at 5 health.
Quite the tricky little series of moves in the Central Europe.
Now, have you been counting night supplies? Because that's actually a factor here. If they have some safe night supplies, they can use that to restock these hunters' items.
No, I haven't counted.
Now, the thing here is Mina would love to move to Marseille, but she can't because Dracula could be there. All right, Seward can search or he can heal.
Probably time to find a bats. Yeah.
I think both bats have been played at this point, right?
Is that a fact?
And the deck has a little ways to go yet before it cycles.
Yeah.
Although it's possible that the first bats was before the deck cycled the first time. It's moving so fast.
Could have gotten kicked back in. Here's a nice supply.
Okay. So I think they had 4 night supplies. I know they used 1 prior to me saying that. Now they've used at least 2. But that's good for them because, Van Helsing's got some items now. He's at 5, which isn't where you really want him to be, but it's getting there. So yeah, Hunter's gotta get a move on here. But I think in all likelihood he's headed towards well, I don't know if he's headed towards Spain. He could easily just be in one of the coastal cities again, just getting ready to hide now. Because then if he pulls off that hide with a fog and the hunters jump on him, he fogs him in, then he can feed. Then he can go to sea. And then a couple of more days have been burned.
Is he still being tricky? Or does
I don't know. I mean,
playing a proper move.
Yeah. Always the question. I mean, that's playing tricky, as we all know, can really blow up in your face.
Yeah.
And he's done it so far and gotten away with it this game, but that doesn't mean it's going to last forever.
Well, he did it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
He pulled them into Central Europe only to slink in a tricky little triangle and slink back out, which is precisely how you want to do it, because it's one of the only places on the board you could really truly lose the hunters, so to speak.
Oh, he's wolf forming now, so that's
Interesting.
That's interesting because now, if he goes to sea soon, he may be forced to land without a wolf form.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they can force him to sea now.
There's really not that many places he could have gone to after Clermont-Ferrand. He either went to Marseille or to Bordeaux or to Barcelona or Saragossa, and that's where he wolf formed from. So now you have to think, the worst possible thing is he went to Marseille and now he's wolf formed to Nuremberg. Nuremberg's not a possibility. Maybe he should have misdirected old Nuremberg. You can't fool Captain Gyro. No, he went from 36 to Munich, maybe.
Oh, okay, they're supplying for events.
Or he went from 36 to Venice. Or he may have gone into Florence.
Now, this is interesting because all the hired scouts have now been played, I believe. No, there's one hired scouts left, but 3 of them have been played. All 3 allies have been drawn, so there's really not that much chance of them drawing like a trail finding card here.
Makes sense now why he wolf formed. He was still being tricky. He was being tricky the whole time. Went to
Marseille. Marseille. That's exactly why I was like, when Mina was sitting in Munich, or was it Nuremberg? I was like, yeah, Nuremberg. She wants to go to Marseille to check that, but she can't because Dracula could be there. And sure enough, Dracula was there.
So what do you think? Munich, Venice, Florence, Saragossa?
I think not Florence. He's scared of the CG. Well, actually, no. He may not be scared of the CG nuke on account of the fact that they've played a host already.
I think you have to...
I think Florence is still a huge mistake to go to, because even a less powerful CG nuke can still completely screw you if they catch you there.
You have to check Bordeaux here on the next turn. So who do you have do it? Do you move Dr. Seward there? Because if you move... Well, I guess if you move Dr. Seward there and he has a forewarned, and... Oh, nice dogs and steak. Let's say you move Dr. Seward to 8 and he has a forewarned, and Dracula's hiding there.
Oh. Okay, so he expected to get attacked in Marseille. That's interesting. I mean, it's good for him now because the fog's gone back into the deck and it's going to refresh before too long. But that's not the optimal use of a fog that you're hoping for as Dracula.
No, but better safe than sorry. You know, you move there. Sure. It's a very well-connected city. If something should go wrong and you end up in a 3-on-1, that's pretty much the whole game.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe you have Godalming check Munich, because I think that's kind of the worst case Eastern scenario. You know that the wolf form wasn't to Nuremberg, so you can rule out Munich, you can rule out Bordeaux. Maybe you have Seward go to Bordeaux, because then he can supply there. Seward's down an item. He needs to pick up items. So he can go there during the day, supply at night, because Mystic Research might still be active. And
if Dracula's there, you can fight him. The only problem is if he didn't go that way, now you're moving Dr. Seward even further away.
Well, you'll know because Godalming's going to check Munich, I'm assuming here.
That's a good point.
Or not.
No, we need to do some vampire killing and some trading, I guess.
I guess trading is, yeah. That's...
Oh, maybe he was hoping to find the new vampire and 2-on-1 fight it.
I guess. Huh. I think an item trade might be the... It's interesting.
Yeah, it could be an item trade going on too. It explains day searching with Seward, also moving Godalming there at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe Godalming's going to offload his items to Seward so Seward can move, and then Godalming can supply. I don't know.
Well, that kills the soil.
That refreshes the deck too, so there could potentially be another fog coming into Dracula's hand.
Supply.
Okay, so they still haven't checked Bordeaux. I didn't actually catch what Van Helsing did there.
He supplied.
Did he? Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's Wednesday, week 3.
Yeah, clock's ticking.
Yeah, time is
The good thing
down
is,
here.
yeah, wolf form's on the trail, so he can't be that far out. And hopefully their movement is more or less sorted out. Obviously, they had a bad ticket situation earlier, but I have to imagine economy's pretty good. They're not as supplied as they would like to be.
There's those brides yucking it up all the way back in the castle.
Seriously, the fact they haven't drawn a good luck yet is bananas. Because that's free action. Like, there's no reason to not use good luck. You can play it and then do your normal action. So, if somebody drew it previously, they would have played it now.
It's only 2 of them.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they've been through.
He has drawn about 30 cards or so. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess their supplies are not as good post hooks, so they're not they're not getting as many hunter as they should based on how many cards are in the deck.
Or at least probability would dictate that, but I haven't
Right.
actually been counting. Where's he going now?
Where is he going now?
I bet he went to Venice.
Ooh, he's doing it again.
I bet that he wolf formed and then hid, and that's why he started calling now. He's crazy. He's a crazy guy. He's down to 8 health now.
Yeah, he's really banking on getting that fog back.
Who cares if you're only at 8 health if you're
hidden schemes? That's another one I like. I guess hidden schemes is funny because it's kind of like a worse version of the Dracula's Bride's corrupt ability, but it's still a nice one because now that it's double nasty encounter.
He's going all in on the encounter economy strategy here. I
really
like
is. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how this turns out.
Schemes is right. He's been scheming.
He's a
schemer.
He's close to where the hunters are here, and like.
Yeah, but who cares? They don't know where you are.
Yeah.
Sure, they might. What if they find out today? Yeah, well, that's today. And then tonight Dracula can move.
Yeah. Yeah, they must have, whatever needed to happen between Seward and Godalming must have been really important. Otherwise, I think you would have sent Godalming over to Munich to just rule that out.
What do we got here? Oh, he's discarding. More night supplying. What's this one? Newspapers.
Oh!
I knew that had to be a hide.
Oh, massive newspapers. Oh, that's huge. That's finally the stroke of luck that Pizzawizard has been waiting for all game.
Yes, but as I said, Dracula's now not as... I mean, don't get me wrong, this isn't great for him, but he's not being attacked. They didn't have this information this morning at dawn.
True, but where does he go now?
Oh, the Adriatic Sea.
Well, sure. And then what? Then he lands without a wolf form? Or moves a couple more times and now he's got like 3 healthy lands?
Well, no, you have to make them guess between Valona and Bari at that point.
Yeah. But a lot can go pretty well. That was a huge newspaper report. That was a gigantic newspaper report.
That was just
honestly. Okay, so yeah, he's got to move.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you move to 38, you're gambling on renewed vigor, sense of emergency. If you move to 20, you're gambling on consecrated ground, right? Like,
yeah.
Sure, you could always be I mean, even if you try to be cheeky and go to Genoa or something like that, you're still basically. Actually, Genoa might not have been such a bad move, to be honest, because they wouldn't have checked it.
Okay.
Well, actually,
East. Yeah, makes sense.
Actually, Genoa might have been really risky because he might have seen a Speedy Telegraph, and then Mina checks Genoa, and then after that, Dr. Seward goes to Genoa. Yeah, that might have been disastrous. Come to think of it.
Yeah. Still though, Dracula's suddenly not in that great of a position. I mean,
no.
They have to presumably have to do something about Venice, given there's 2 encounters on there that could be real nasty if they mature. And like you have to assume the Hyde is a fog. But yeah, if they can kind of block off, Italy and the East, get hunters in position there, then suddenly Dracula's very afraid of a CG.
The cows are finally coming home to roost for old Dracula.
Yeah. Ooh, that's nasty.
He's been playing it very risky, and some of that risk is finally starting to catch up to him a little bit.
Yeah, although man, that was a great lair though. That mob in Milan, because now Van Helsing's suddenly not in a position to take care of Venice, and maybe now you've got to have Mina go do it. But like, is she equipped?
Those damn Milanese.
Well, now she can go to
picking on an old man.
Can go to Milan if she wants to. Oh, or go with Seward.
Well, Dracula's gonna have to land next, right? He's probably not gonna move to the Ionian Sea, for obvious reasons, because then he'd have to move again to obfuscate any of his.
Yeah, the thing is,
so
yeah,
you can psychic bond tonight or tomorrow night after Dracula lands, right? And then you'll be able to know, okay, he definitely went to Valona or he definitely went to Bari.
Yeah, the thing is,
after that you cook him with CG, right?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if they have CG and he lands, then then he's pretty well cooked. Like they can. Okay, maybe they don't have the other sense of emergency, so maybe they're not able to check Valona immediately. But if they can get a chartered carriage. Well, no, because Van Helsing's too weak to charter carriage to Bari. If Dracula were to be there. But yeah, his options aren't great, because he can go to Ionian, now he's at 5 health. And then he's going to move again, be at 4. Or he can land normally. And be at massive risk of a CG kill.
Yeah. He's been in command of this entire game. And then all of a sudden he's like been caught with his pants down.
All it took was one newspaper.
Yeah, because from 36 with a wolf form and a hide,
there's
so many places he could have been.
Oh my lord, he's done it. He's done it. If they have CG, if they have surprising return in CG, then that's GG. Not completely, but like.
Yeah, surprising return Jonathan Harker here. Reveal him in Valona.
Yeah, because even if he's in Valona, okay, then you play CG to block him, so the only place he can go is Sarajevo.
That's not quite good game, though. You still have to prove some yellow 2s on your horse rolls. Oh, S-tier card.
There it is.
Johnny. There he
is.
Mr. Harker, MVP.
But yeah, if you put the CG token into Sofia, you put the temporary ones into Salonika and Athens. Now he's got to go to Sarajevo, or he could stay in Valona and feed. Okay, but then you're just giving them more time to come at you.
One of the heavenly hosts is already in the discard pile.
Right, that's the problem. Is they can't force him into Sarajevo. He can stay in Valona and feed if he wants, assuming they have CG. But yeah, this is real nasty.
You want to keep him out of 3 and 46, and then 50 after that.
Yeah. Question is, they've already used a sense of emergency. So the question is, how close can they get to him? And if Gnalman can go to Sarajevo, if they can CG him,
if you can,
then. Speed like that. I didn't realize it was called Dawn.
If you can get Oh, renewed vigor number 2.
Whoop, there it
Wow.
is.
That explains all the crazy amounts of supplying, too, because it's like,
Yeah.
he's sitting there saying, well, if I don't have renewed vigor, I need to get it. And if I don't
Yeah.
have consecrated ground, I need to get it.
Yeah. Now the question is, did he get the consecrated ground too?
Do you have sense of emergency and you can just send Godalming in? Oh, well, or you could horse roll for it and then heroic
Yeah,
leap
Godalming can get onto
Dracula.
it here.
If you heroic leap
Especially.
him here, he's down so low he has to feed, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if Godalming can get onto him, or check this out, if somebody can, well, the problem is it's hard to use an excellent weather attack here because Venice is so fortified, so you can't really do like a, you know,
Still try
Van
for it if
Helsing
you
moves to
if
Venice
that's
and
all.
then
Yeah, yeah. If that's all you can do, though, you can still try for it.
yeah.
Here's the
Okay, Godalming's moving.
horses. It's a
All right,
2.
he gets the fight if he wants it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unless we've
Now
got the
will
fog
will
here.
Van Helsing give him a card, thus striking fear into Dracula's evil heart?
Yeah, maybe have Van Helsing go next, trade him the heroic leap, then you move Godalming onto him with the heroic leap, and maybe even the forewarn too.
Yeah,
That's a
I mean, because
power
ideally you
speedy
want to have
telegraph.
like a heroic leap, an escape route, and a forewarn. That's like the hand you would like Godalming to have. But even if he's got just one of those cards, he's not in a terrible position.
Truly.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
he's
So it's
moving
setting
to
up for more.
block. He's giving him the old Scott sword strangle.
Yeah. I mean,
Encircle the enemy.
Seward
Oh,
got the other SOE.
this has got to mean consecrated ground, though, right?
I
That's why
mean,
he's moving to block 50, is because he's going to CG Dracula.
yeah, because if he's sitting in Sarajevo and Sofia, and then you force him out to move to one of those two, then yeah, Dracula's good and cooked at that point.
Wow, that's quite the sense of emergency. So now he's blocking 49, and now all you need is 2 hosts and a CG token and CG. Dracula
Yep.
has to move on to a hunter for a dawn fight with no encounter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there's a CG, then this game's over. I'm comfortable saying that. If there's not a CG, though, that's when things get interesting.
Dracula could feed.
He could feed, he could move and put a fog. Oh!
Good luck.
There it is.
Away with these wenches.
Be gone,
and
Falcon.
yes, wench is the politically correct term.
Oh man. Okay, so that's not even his move. He still has 2 actions.
Yep.
So he's gonna trade. I have to imagine he's gonna trade with one of the boys. If there's nothing else, you gotta intimidate. Oh, yep, there's the trade.
Van Helsing to Godalming. Okay. Give him that heroic leap for the dawn combat. Finish him off at night. Oh, this is just a 1. That's kind of a shame. But it happens, you know?
Yeah, still, if there's a CG, then yeah. Well, okay. No, I think the interesting thing here is if there's a CG, the game's over. If there's not a CG, then what happens? Does he move himself into Monica Valona?
There's
Oh,
CG.
well, that's it. All right.
I mean,
well
if
played,
I
guys.
would have said move to Athens at that point, probably, unless you're standing on fog, which he is.
Yeah, well-
so you feed.
Yeah.
Is the correct answer.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's
now
tough.
show us the third one. Yeah.
Mina's got it. Ooh.
Who had it? Godalming and Mina.
Godalming and Mina. Yeah.
All right, that's gonna force Dracula to move on to one of the gentlemen.
Yep. I think he picks Godalming just like on the very off chance that Mina rolls slow, and then he only has a 2v1 for the night fight. But like this game's over no matter what. Like
Right.
Pizzawizard would have to drop the ball in an unbelievable way for this game not to be over.
The ball of dough.
Sure.
You don't want to do that. You have to make totally fresh dough at that point. You can't really just pick it up off the floor.
No 5-second rule with
Okay. This is pretty much Disaster for old
Poison,
Drac.
Poison.
Curtains, as they say.
Yep.
What a game.
What a game, indeed.
Dracula was in complete
Loser only needed
control.
that one big stroke of luck. So
Yeah.
many things went against him. Oh.
There's the heroic leap at dawn, like I
Rude.
said. Now you just...
Yes.
Yeah. Fangs of Fire calling it. There's nothing Drac
Calling
can
it.
do.
He's
You
correct,
could
though.
just...
We as commentators can't call it yet, but it is over.
You sure can. I mean, even if Dracula Fangs, he would have like 3 health, and then the other hunter stabs him with a knife.
Oh, sure,
Shoots
yeah.
him with
No, I mean, we
bullets.
can't, like, put it in the chat, is what I mean.
Yeah, of course. Mina's
But yeah,
coming
there's
too to just make sure he's extra dead.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, because Dracula was in such a powerful position the whole game, and like all the things Pizzawizard needed just weren't coming up. All the things he didn't need were coming up. But that one newspaper, just done.
Yeah, it's kind of insane, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Fangs did kind of put himself in a position to get screwed there. Like going to Venice in that scenario is like
He let his health get really low too.
you're really hoping that you don't get newspapered when you go to Venice like that. And he did, and he paid for it. So it's not totally luck. I think that was an error by Fangs. And you know, going back, I do still kind of think that Pizzawizard made the wrong choice by chasing and killing those 3 vampires, but obviously it worked out.
He just bows out with the escapist miss.
Yeah, didn't have a good hand, but yeah, there's nothing you can do. No card that you play there can save you. So
yeah, he played a risky game. It was working out for him significantly, but eventually all that risk came home to call. Well, everybody, thank you for joining. Hope everybody had a good time. I have to go stretch my legs, take a break.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work, back to the day job. But I do want to see if he'll tell us in the chat what cards you got from the hooks. I'm really curious about the choice to pick the brides.
Yeah, the brides was really working out. The brides was the reason he always had the fog, always had the reckless vampire. It's a very commanding position.
Seriously. Yeah, this is a fun one to watch.
Yeah, once they know where you are so quickly like that, and all you can do is go to the coast, and now you have 6 health. I mean, Pizzawizard did also have the cards, you know, so to speak. He had the renewed vigor. He had what he needed. The consecrated ground. The newspapers came up, so there was a little bit of good luck in the end there. But
oh yeah,
I mean, it makes perfect sense because the luck was so bad towards the beginning. It had to even out eventually.
Yeah. Right.
That's why you never give up as the hunters.
Yeah. Yeah. Never ever till it's over.
No. Right,
well, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna respond to the chat here. I am very curious to see what he had from the hooks, but I can always go watch his live stream to find that out. So
yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you for joining. We appreciate you, and we'll see you for the next one. Thank you, JB Philly, for commentating with me. It was a blast, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, great game. Good stuff.